If you're anything like me, then you're probably still reeling from the adrenaline-pumping, jaw-dropping moments from Invincible. And let's face it, this show doesn't hold back when it comes to blood-bathed fight scenes. I mean, seriously, they're on a whole different level. From bone-crushing fights to mind-blowing moves, Invincible serves up a buffet of epic fights that you absolutely can't afford to miss. Trust me, these aren't your normal fights. They're full-throttle, heart-racing spectacles that will have you on the edge of your seat, craving more with every punch thrown. Some with a not-so-strong heart might also stop watching these scenes, so buckle up, cause we're diving headfirst into the most brutal, intense, and downright unforgettable fight scenes this show has to offer. Number 1. Omni-Man killing the Guardians. This was that intense brawl which shook up the whole show. Imagine this, everything is doing great. There is a strong superhero who's taking care of Earth and is helping his other superhero friends fight evil, and it's great, and you're settling in for your usual superhero thing. You thinking it's about Omni-Man's son, Invincible, getting the hang of his new powers and all this stuff, and then BAM! This show flips the script faster than a spade and bullet. The Guardians of the Globe get this call to gather at the Guardians' headquarters. Turns out Omni-Man called everyone here, and then he suddenly starts attacking them out of nowhere. It's chaos from the get-go. Red Rush pulls this hero move, trying to save the Immortal, only to meet a grisly fate. Skulls are crushed and bodies are tossed around like a rag doll. Oh my gosh. Omni-Man, he's on a whole other level. Green Ghost, Darkwing, Aquarus, no one's safe. The fight's brutal, no holds barred. Omni-Man uses every trick in the book, turning their own weapons against them. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, Omni-Man ramps it up, neck-breaking, gut-punching, and a final brutal decapitation of their leader, Immortal. It's a shockwave of brutality that sets the tone for the entire series.
Why?
And this scene, it's not just about the fights, it's about shaking up everything you thought you knew about superhero shows. Number 2, Omni-Man kills the soldiers in his home. Yeah, Omni-Man, that guy's a whole different level of scary. Remember the first episode, he wipes out Earth's mightiest heroes like it's a walk in the park. But just when you think it couldn't get crazier towards the end of the season, he goes full-on Terminator mode, hunting down his own family to bring them on board his take over the world train. Imagine it, he swoops back home expecting to find his wife and kid, but they've split. The place seems deserted, except it's not. And then suddenly, creak! He zooms in, grabs this invisible soldier, and squishes his head like a rotten tomato. Brains splatter everywhere.
Cecil.
And that's just the warm-up. Bullets, cause they work, start raining on him. But does he flinch? No. He turns into a one-man army, taking these invisible dudes out in the most brutal ways possible. Rifle through the face, that's a new one. Tearing dudes in half, explosions. And this guy's like a walking wrecking ball, and trust me, that scene is like a blink and you'll miss it masterpiece. Number 3, Omni-Man kills Immortal for the second time. Just after facing Hail Mary, Omni-Man ended up facing off against the revived Immortal, leader of the Guardians of the Globe. Remember, Immortal packs some serious powers: invulnerability, flight, super strength, and lightning fast speed, and this guy's like lived for ages until Omni-Man kills him one day. Like what? So he's back from the dead and he came for Omni-Man. The stage was set for an all-out brawl. Immortal charges at Omni-Man, fueled by pure rage and vengeance. The blows start flying, punches, kicks, the whole shebang. It's a show of epic proportions, and just when you think things can't get any more intense, Immortal goes for Omni-Man's eyes, his eyes, giving it everything he's got. But Omni-Man, he's not one to back down. In a brutal twist, he tears Immortal apart right in front of live TV and his son Mark. Ooh, boy, that's scary. Talk about a jaw-dropping brutal moment. And that's when the whole world got a front row seat to Omni-Man's true colors. Number 4, Mark faces cyborgs. In Invincible's episode 6, things get seriously intense as Mark faces off against a bunch of cyborgs. Imagine it, these cyborgs known as Omni-Man aren't your typical bad guys. They're the twisted creation of this college dude named D.A. Sinclair. He did a thing with their brains, turning them into emotionless killing machines. Yeah, you know that happened. And Mark has to face them to save his friend. And that face-off is incredibly intense. So much so that Mark was on the brink of death.
Oh, William! A rematch. Excellent.
If it weren't for one of these cyborgs who was still holding on to their human side, who knows what would have happened to good old Marky and his best friend William. And this cyborg was none other than Rick, William's boyfriend. He tore a chunk out of his cyber brain just to team up with Mark and kick some serious villain butt. And just when you think it couldn't get any more twisted, Cecil the Big Shot gets interested in this messed up project after nabbing Sinclair. Number 5, Mark and Nolan versus the Viltrumites. This one is probably the most exciting and most action-packed scene of this whole series. I mean, what's better than seeing a father-son duo take on the most powerful beings in the universe? Invincible brought another level of action scene to us when Omni-Man and Invincible went toe-to-toe with the Viltrumites. Mark had to face this Lucan guy, who was an experienced and very powerful Viltrumite. Lucan was manhandling Mark as if he were an ant. Then Omni-Man came to his son's rescue and he rips out Lucan's intestine. Blah, gross. But wait, then we can see Thula stabbing Mark and his stomach is wide open. We also saw Omni-Man shattering this Viltrumite guy's skull. He made his head uneven in shape. Watch for yourself. So this is the sheer brutality we get to see in this episode. But if you think this was the most brutal fight, you are certainly mistaken. Number 6, Battle Beast versus, well, everybody. When the fight was about to start in Machine Head's penthouse, we all thought it was gonna be a cakewalk for Titan and Invincible, especially with the team backing them up. They're like, yay, go team! But man, we were in for a surprise. The level of brutality, insane. Battle Beast, that powerhouse villain, goes berserk and turns our heroes into punching bags. Titan and Invincible, total beatdown, with Invincible getting knocked into a coma. And hold up, Monster Girl gets it bad too. Battle Beast practically peels her face off, leaving just her skull. Poor child. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Black Samson gets a taste of defeat and it's a total bloodbath. Our heroes are just left lying there beaten and confused and they're like, what the frick is this? But here's the twist. Omni-Man, the most powerful hero who could actually give a fight to Battle Beast, just watches. He doesn't even try to help. And you're left wondering, what the heck just went down? Why didn't the big guy intervene? Let me know what you think. Why didn't he stop Battle Beast? This was one of the most brutal scenes in the show, with Battle Beast finding the worst ways to finish the fight. Number 7, Mark faces his father. Oh boy. When Invincible faced off against his father, Omni-Man, it wasn't merely an emotional moment, it was brutal. Half of the city lay in ruins, and thousands of lives were lost in the most horrific way imaginable. The hero meant to protect ended up causing devastation. We're talking about Omni-Man here. Mark got severely beaten, no doubt. But the brutality of the beating, insane. Omni-Man thrashed him, but it was the callousness that was beyond belief. Omni-Man knew Mark's intentions to save the city and its people. So he first tore Mark apart physically, and then emotionally. He even used Mark as a weapon to demolish a train filled with thousands of people. And those innocent lives were tragically lost. This scene hands down takes the crown for the most brutal moment on our list. So, these were my picks for the most intense and brutal fight scenes in Invincible. What would you choose for your list? Any scene you would want to add to ours? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Thanks for tuning in and catch you in the next one.